Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
Hi, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast, sea to Shawnee Sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, where the world comes to talk radio. The origins of radio teletype, plus your shortest and farthest ham calls. It's Wednesday, June 24th, 2026, live from hot Central Florida. It's Ham Radio Live. Oh, you know, every summer vacation, this song was so popular with kids, and I remember, like, getting out of school, and I'd, like, sing this song on my way home on the last day of school.
Well, we got no class, and we got no principles, and we got no innocence. We can't even think of a word that rhymes. School's out for summer. School's out forever. My school's been blown to pieces. No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, deluxe. Out for summer,
You know, we don't play a lot of Alice Cooper or anything, but, you know, just because it reminds me of old times, and it's about that time of year where kids have gotten out, and as you know, it's kind of a special time for everybody that's young, so let's just remember those days. We got a great show today for you. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to talk about radio teletype, something a lot of radios can decode, and also the origins of it. You might find that interesting as well. Plus, we'll talk about your shortest as well as your farthest amateur radio call or shortwave reception. From around the world, what do you say we say? Away we go. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Happy Hump Day. Going to be a fun show today. Hope you're excited. We're going to have a good visit today. We have the Angry Hams, we got trivia, we got the origins of radio teletype, and that's a very interesting thing. It just barely came in after Morse code. A lot of people may not know that. We'll talk about it today, as well as how amateur radio kind of got a hold of it and how World War II played a part in that as well. Hope you like the little history of that. It's hot here in Central Florida, 102 degrees, and of course the heat index 121. Oh, brother. And it's not like it's a baking Sunday. There's just partly sour, but I always the glass half full guy, so partly sunny. Right? Wait, no, I always say it's partly cloudy when it's like mostly cloudy. So there you go. But still, it's pretty toasty here in Central Florida. The dogs are in place. They're having some fun, and we're looking forward to having you for a fun show as well. If you'd like to get into amateur radio, contact the American Radio Relay League. That's how I got my license. I reached out to them at www.arrl.org. Click on the part of the page that says Contact Us, then scroll down and just contact them with a message telling them you want to get your ham license. And please make sure and tell them where you live as well in the world, because they're going to send back to you a local to you ham radio club. Contact the club. If you're here in the States, that's extremely important, because the ham radio clubs have been given the task of giving the ham radio licensing exams here. So please make sure and contact that club. They can only do so much unless you reach out, right? www.arrl.org. The dogs are in place today, and it's been kind of an interesting day here as we're trying to get stuff done for the show, and everybody wanted to be up with Dad. It just has been one of those days today. So if you'd like to get us on Discord, sorry we're a few minutes late today, reach us at ham-radio-live on Discord. It's free. You can ask questions about amateur radio, or maybe, like a antenna build or something you're looking to do. Find that at ham-radio-live. Also, a website that can help you get really proficient and fun and have all kinds of enjoyment in amateur radio. You'll find it at www.hamradiolive.org. Thanks to our dear friend Rodney in the Netherlands for putting that together. Thank you, Rodney. Yep. Also, we got some email that we're going to get to in a second because we got some stuff today to share with you. Also, our topic question, what's the shortest and farthest QSO you've ever made in amateur radio? And if you're a shortwave DXer, what's the closest you've heard a station and the farthest away? Let us know, and we will make it part of today's program. Let's find out who's first, second, and third today on a Wednesday. So 751, how about that? First up, continent number 1 comes in. That's Barry Wend in the United Kingdom. I don't think he's ever come in first. Let's give him a great beep beep, please. Beep beep. Well done, Barry. Well done. Golf 6, Juliet Mike X-Ray coming in first today from the United Kingdom. Good to see you, my friend. Congratulations and well done. Second up, it's continent number 2. That's Mike in Jacksonville. Kilo Golf 2, Mike. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Happy Wednesday. Third up is Joshua. Woohoo! He did it. Well done, Joshua. I think Joshua's here in the States, but it's good to have you. Thanks for coming today, buddy. Chris is here from New York City. Kilo Echo 2, Hotel Romeo Juliet. Chris, welcome. Good to have you on a beautiful, hot, toasty Wednesday. Joshua said, I bet when this song came out, it was awesome when school got out and you played this on the 8-track in the parking lot. Yeah, it was. It was 1972. It wasn't, I was like 7. No, what was I? Gosh, I was 9. So, yeah, I remember it because it'd play sometimes on my mom's little AM radio. Yeah, it's a caffeine day, guys. I got to tell you, I was really kind of surprised because I was just cramming stuff in here today. And all of a sudden I look at the clock, it's at 1:33. I'm like, oh no, this is really, really bad. I'm already late. So, yeah, one of those things. But yeah, I remember, when it got to be like 7th and 8th grade, man, yeah, this was a big song. And back then, we were kind of like the baby boomer kids were the ones who a lot of programming as well as advertising was cornered. They were centered right on us. That's why you have shows today like the Brady Bunch that lives on in syndication, as well as the Partridge Family and all those great cartoons. That was because Saturday mornings on all 3 major networks were cartoons from like 7 a.m. until noon. It was just to try and get those dollars from kids. And man, I do miss those days, actually, Joshua. Thank you. Brought back a memory. Thank you. Really brings back memory there. Bill Myers, welcome. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India, Mike, good to see you all the way from Wisconsin. Thanks for coming today, buddy. Gunter in Germany is here, and he says it's hot here as well. Wow, 101 degrees Fahrenheit with 43% humidity. See, that's really tough because, if it's 101, it's still murderously hot. You don't want to do anything because it's just too blasted hot to do anything. But when you start introducing humidity to it, now you've got a completely different animal because you don't even want to go outside because it's just so thick. But the atmosphere is really, really thick. I never got to see today what our humidity was on it. I just snapped the picture quickly, took a quick picture of Miley and then went there, 47%. Yeah, so about the same. But 101, 102. We're not far apart there. It's just murder to be out in that kind of weather. So I usually get the dogs out, and like once they've done their business, okay, guys, come on in, we're done, and that's it. Too hot. Gunter, good day to stay inside. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Europe is getting toasted right now, heat-wise. It's really hot there. Andy Newman here. Welcome. Mike 7, Charlie November. Welcome back to the program. And Tom joins us, ready from Bulgaria. Hi, Tom. Glad you made it safely home. Welcome home. Good to see you. His call sign there, if he's working in Bulgaria, right, it's going to be Lima Zulu Stroke, Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa, because of the SEPT agreement. You'll learn about that in ham radio tests if you haven't taken it yet. It's an agreement we have with Europe, and it's basically a way we can carry our credentials over the pond into Europe and be able to instantly still use a radio, because we've got a ham radio license back home. And only extras get to use it, I think. Tom, welcome. Good to see you. Glad you made it home safely. Andy Cowley, ham radio. Andy's Andy number 3 there, because we got a lot of Andys showing up. Andy's great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. It's awesome to have you present. By the way, tomorrow's show is going to be really fun. Tomorrow's program, we're going to do a special segment on QRP. And we're going to talk about it in a way to help you guys understand, maybe for new hams. You guys already know, if you've been in amateur radio a long time, just how far your signals can go. And we're going to take a look at using low power to its best efficiency. Man, it's neat stuff. So I hope you guys like that. That's on tomorrow's program. Bill, thank you for putting the links in. I appreciate that. Chris says it's a nice temperate day here in New York City, 81 degrees. No kidding, man. No kidding. Bill, you are awesome. Man, just keep those links. Thank you. Gunter in Germany, first one to answer our topic question today. Your shortest and your farthest QSO. He says, shortest QSO in distance in amateur radio was 2.5 air miles over the Rhine River into the neighboring province. Well done. That's good. Yeah. We're really close, man. Maybe a half of a mile. That's it. Just very, very, very close. I think, was it Andy, 88 degrees in Bristol there in the United Kingdom? That's hot for you guys too. It's really hot. Yeah. And Chris, 102 degrees, like having a bad fever. Indeed. Yes. Josh, it's even worse there because Europeans don't have prevalent air conditioning, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Now, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person?
Europeans might be angry about that. No, it's true, because they don't get this kind of hot there. Not often. It's very, very rare. Like, for example, if you were to go to the northern United States, I'm talking like up to Wisconsin, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, really up north, right? And even like Washington State, northern Idaho, well, maybe not northern Idaho because it's kind of a high prairie, but there are areas here in North America where you just don't see air conditioning prevalent whatsoever, because it's just like people will look and say, yeah, it's a lot of money to spend for maybe 3 to 5 days a year of uncomfortable weather, right? And then because it cools down at night, they just throw fans in the windows and they just blow the cold air into the house. It's a different world, and for Europe, it's very hard for them. And there are people who have died from this. So it's not a joking thing for sure, man. Gunter says, I enjoyed Southern California with 118 degrees Fahrenheit and lower humidity. Oh, it's much different. After 11 hours working on the roof, I was comfy to go and shoot darts in the evening. Are you crazy? 118 degrees on a rooftop? Oh, man, that's crazy. And what those guys do, because I remember we were looking at homes in Arizona too, right? And I talked to a guy who was in air conditioning, because I'm just curious, right? What does it cost for a service call? What does it cost to rebuild the entire thing? I wanted worst case scenario, so we could have money stuffed in the bank. Little did we know that there would be no Social Security. Jeez, for 9 months almost. Anyway, they said, well, we were really booked out. So if you do come anywhere near summer, you really want to make an appointment in the winter because our schedule fills up super fast. If you try and get a hold of us for an emergency call like in June, oh brother, I mean, we can get somebody out if we can. It's going to cost you a fortune because these guys are going to charge up. And what they typically do, they'll start work early, like 6 a.m. before it gets really super hot, and they're done by 1, and they go home because you can be killed doing that work if you're outside in Arizona or, even here in Florida. You see a lot of people getting off work early because they start work early too. The heat can really, really hurt you. Tom, some countries allow generals as well, but BG is extra. Yeah. There you go. So if you're a general, you can still do a SEPT, but make sure you know which country you're going to and that they'll accept that. Don't just go saying, I'm a general, everything's fine. I'm going to go play ham radio in Liechtenstein. I'm good. No problems. Give me a radio and an antenna. I'm good to go.
Thank you. Come again.
Make sure you can do it because sometimes you just can't do it. Gunter, here in Europe, you feel down and tired in the upper 70s with 30 to 50% humidity. Oh, man. Bill Myers in Wisconsin, today's topic question. Shortest contact was to Darren, November 9, Sierra Whiskey Mike, right here in Bruce, Wisconsin. No kidding. There's another ham in Bruce? Who knew? Breaking news here on Ham Radio Live.
Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here.
I could have used that better if that would have just been spun around that bottle of ice water. That's crazy. So there's another ham in Bruce. It's good. Longest contact was Victor Kilo 6, Charlie Bravo, which is 10,826.1 miles away. Brilliant. Both using sideband. That's fantastic. Well done. Nice calls there, Bill. We'll get back to more of your weather comments as well as your longest and shortest calls in just a moment. First, let's get the weather. The weather today is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Here's your QRZ conditions so far. SFI 122, sunspot numbers up. That's good. BZ latitude just minus a bit, not bad. 375,009 kilometers per second for the wind speed for the solar wind. And there's your conditions for the HF bands, and that's from Boulder, Colorado. If this same thing was done, say, out of, I don't know, let's say it was Bogota, Colombia, it's going to show you 10 meters is great. So it's just where this is located. Please don't take it as the world is this way. Notice though 6-meter E-skip is open. That's a good thing. Your magnetosphere view, here's a look at the trio of triplets there of the 3 sunspot regions that are kind of chugging around the southern part of the sun. We now have 6 sunspot regions that are facing Earth, and that solar flux index number probably going to bounce up or down just a little bit for the next few days. Maximum usable frequencies, 10 and 12 drifted south again. Darn it, shucks. That's the way it is. Here's a better look at it. You can see 10 now is just about at 38, maybe 35 degrees north. And then 12 meters is up right at about 40 degrees. So still you can work 12 meters if you're up around 40 degrees north. Good conditions if you want to work it. In the southern hemisphere, same as always, everything's open from 20 meters all the way up to the 10-meter band. Your HF forecast powered by ICOM for the love of ham and shortwave radio. Stable SFIs this week. 6-meter E-skips open. Solar flares possible today. Noise floors are quiet. Best DX in the north is 20, 17, 15, and 12. Best in the southern hemisphere from 20 meters up to 10. Nighttime amateur radio, stable solar flux index numbers. Good DX, expect some fading at times. Noise floors are quiet though through today. Nighttime amateur bands from 160 meters all the way to 40 should sound fine. Watch for static crashes. We still have some thunderstorms out in the world today, and they do make noise under 10 megahertz. Shortwave DXers, daytime shortwave noise floors are quiet, stable SFIs, but occasional fading on signals. Shortwave daytime bands 31 meters, 25, 22, 19, 15, and 13. Nighttime shortwave stable SFIs, quiet noise floors, some fading on signals at times. Shortwave nighttime bands from 120 meters all the way down to the 19 meter band. Remember, kids, 19 meters is good for about almost all night long here in the Northern Hemisphere. We just passed the solar solstice, the summer solstice, I mean. And in the South, you'll still get 19 about 2 hours after sunset. The signals will fade away. Good conditions stay to work your amateur shortwave radio on the HF bands. There you go. Today's topic question: what's the shortest and farthest QSO that you've ever had? Let us know in the comment section, and we will make it part of today's program. We have an email address that I'm grateful a lot of people send stuff to, because for me, I love interacting, and I think the show works for maybe one big reason. Because you're big stars of this program, the things that you guys accomplish. It could be a call, it could be your radio, it could be your antenna, it could be your park on the air, could be anything you like doing in amateur radio or you'd like to share with us in amateur radio. Today, Spike in Montana first got a hold of me about something. Sam, you missed it. It's Spike in Montana. Said, Anyways, he said some stuff, and here is, hold on, that's not quite it. Here it is. Look at this. This is a J37 Morse code key from Spike. That's nice. Look at that. That is a Morse code key that he had back in the Navy, I believe. May not have been the exact one he used, but take a good look at that. That's kind of neat, and he made mention that they would wear it on their leg. Here's a picture of it with the strap, the J37 Morse code key, I should say there, from the U.S. Navy, from Spike. Spike, thank you. That's cool. That's neat. All the way up from Montana. Not too shabby. Also, we did get something else from Bill in Wisconsin, Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. Here he says, there's Bill right there. Whoops. Sorry, Bill. There you go. And Bill sent us something that is up for funniest video of 2026 here on the show that we get from our email. Now remember, we're going to have different categories at the end of the year, the final show of 2026, funniest video of the year, best video of the year, most informative video of the year, and we'll think of something else. But that'll come at the end of the year. This one is up there with the hot dog to the AM radio tower speaker, which is really what it is. I hope you enjoy it. We haven't shown Electro Boom in a couple of years on this program, but gosh, I've missed him. Here is something from Bill in Wisconsin, and you guys are going to laugh your heads off at this one. Watch this.
After all the videos I make, there are some people out there that just don't get it and say it's the current that kills, not the voltage. To prove it to you once and for all, I'll be using my power supply here connected to these wires. This power supply can generate 20 volts, 150... Yes, it generates 20 volts and 150 amps. Let's short it in a more controlled manner. Well, you see, when I short it, the voltage goes almost to... I was saying, when you short it together, the voltage you can see goes to 0 and the current goes to 150. It's hot. The power supply is set to 20 volts and I'm holding the wires with my fingers. I can't even weld with this power supply. Although this power supply can generate huge amounts of current, it can't send it through my body because it's only set to 20 volts. I can't even feel it on my fingers. I like to put it on my tongue, but before that, I have to reduce the voltage to something like 1 volt because, you know, the resistance of the tongue is much smaller than the skin. And still, if I short the power supply, I get the same 150 amps. Okay, you can see it still sparks. Let's try it out. What the f***? I thought I set it to 1 volt. Huge. Don't completely trust the gauges on your instruments and always double check them with a meter. Now, if I short the wires, I still get the same 150 amps. And it makes sparks, but the sparks are smaller because the voltage is smaller and therefore the total power is smaller. Let's put it on my tongue. See? Nothing. Let me explain. The simplest electrical formula is that voltage is equal to current times resistance. So if the voltage is 1 volt and if the resistance of my tongue is 10,000 ohms, then the current through my tongue will be only 0.1 milliamps. In order to create 1 amps through my tongue, I'll need 1 times 10,000 ohms or 10,000 volts across my tongue. C, the voltage is the energy required to create current. In order to get hurt, you need enough current. And to have enough current, you need high enough voltage. Anything that moves, including the electrons, started moving because some sort of energy has made it move. You will not have current without the voltage, at least in room temperatures. I don't know what kind of diabolical mumbo jumbo will happen at absolute zero. Saying that the voltage doesn't kill is like saying that the earthquake in the middle of the ocean doesn't kill. It's the tsunami afterwards that kills. With that analogy, if I shoot you, it's not my fault, it's the bullet's fault. This just in. Bullets are taking lives of our citizens while sending our innocent people to jail, whose only crime is to hold the gun and pull the trigger. Swear to God, I just wanted to scratch his forehead. I didn't know a bullet is capable of such animosity. In other news, our scientists confirmed that the sole reason for the global warming is the melting polar ice caps. There is just not enough ice to cool the planet anymore. Also, they discovered that the main reason for divorce is marriage. So it's not just the current that kills, it's the current and voltage hand in hand. Here's the power supply at 4 volts, and I'm going to connect this thin wire to it. And you can see how the wire melts and burns under. So the power supply can't generate enough current to melt the wire. Still nothing. So I hope I'm clear. Please don't repeat that the current kills, not the voltage. There's a famous saying that goes like this: like, share, and subscribe to my channel.
Bill Myers, great submission. That's funny. Oh, gosh. It's been a long time. I think it was Tom that sent me Electro Boom a few years ago. We've shown him a couple of times on the channel, and that's funny. If you guys have a video that's pretty well related to amateur radio or shortwave, or possibly maybe even Citizens Band, or just electrically in general, current versus power. No, that was the difference between current and voltage. Jeez. Send it to us on our email here, and the email conveniently is listed here at info@hamradiolive.org. Thank you so much again, Bill. Jeez. Oh man, some of that stuff was just absolutely crazy. Let's take a look at three quick few SOs from Central Florida. First one goes all the way up north to Canada.
7-3, have fun.
Kilo 7 Hotel November. This obviously was earlier, but look at the activity on 20. Huge. Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Kilo 7, give it to me again.
Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Kilo 7, November.
Negative. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. QSL.
Kilo 7, Hotel November. Larry, in Florida?
That's a Roger. You are very good. Larry in Florida, and you're a 54 here.
Yeah, I got you 4444.
Finally, a good signal report. That's nice. Yes, thanks a lot. Victor Echo 3, Foxtrot Tango Echo for the call. Now we go south to the border. Here comes Mexico.
Kilo 10, permite, X-ray, Echo, number 1, X-ray radio.
Kilo 7, Hotel November.
Kilo 7, Hotel November, good morning, 59.
Good morning to you. 59 here as well. Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you for calling, Larry, good morning to you, thank you.
All right,
Thank
let's
you
go
as well.
across
Take
the
care.
pond
God
now
bless you.
towards Bulgaria.
7, Napoli, Lima, Victoria, 5-9. QSL, Italia Zelanda 7, November, Lima, Victoria, 5-9. Ciao, QRZ, Lima, Zulu 0, Whiskey, America.
Kilo 7, Hotel November.
Kilo 7, Hotel November, 5-9.
Thank you, 59 Central Florida. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck. Yours then.
There we go. 3 quick cues. Want to thank the guys that made those. Victor Echo 3, Foxtrot Tango Echo in Canada. Also, X-Ray Echo 1, X-Ray Romeo in Mexico. And finally, Lima Zulu number 0, Whiskey Alpha for Working Ham Radio live show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to get to a special segment. I haven't forgotten you on the answers regarding your shortest and farthest QSOs on the ham bands, or if you are in shortwave, your farthest and closest receptions on shortwave. Let's get into radio teletype. We talked a couple days ago about, we started with the Hellschreiber. We did Fell Hell. And what did we do before that? It wasn't Morse code. It was something. Anyway, I've lost you by now. But here we go. We're going to take a quick look at radio teletype today. Radio teletype is a very easy signature to see on a pan adapter screen. Fell Hell, which we did yesterday, shows you the carrier in the middle, and then you see all of the outer sidebands kind of opening up from the center, right? Radio teletype has 2 distinct current modes, and then, of course, the current as it displaces from the center on both. But there are 2. You'll always be able to know when it's radio teletype. Some information about radio teletype. It is the second digital mode. The earliest teleprinter code was written in France by Émile Baudat. Now, that name should sound familiar. We use the Baudat code today. That was done back in 1869. That was about 20 years after Morse code had been done by Samuel F. Morse. Pretty cool. F.B. Morse back then. So this is why RTTY is just a little bit newer than the Morse code digital mode. Number 2, over-the-air first use was the U.S. Navy back in 1922. Military radio teletype radio men back then were known as tape apes. True story. Number 3, first big teletype corporation, believe it or not, was funded by the Morton Salt investor J. Morton. No kidding. He formed the Morcrum Corporation, which became the Teletype Corporation, which AT&T, American Telephone and Telegraph Company, acquired it back in 1930. Then a couple of years later, the very first connection was done by Radio Corporation of America. It linked San Francisco to Honolulu via radio teletype. And way back, not so way back as the earlier ones, but February 20th, 1953, the FCC approved use for amateur radio to use radio teletype, which is basically phase shift keying. But radio amateurs, they'd been collecting military surplus gear from World War II and been adapting it for long-distance use both on HF and VHF bands. Here's a treat for you. We've seen this gentleman before working, different types of ham radios back in the day when they were military use from Germany in the war. Here he's got another one, and believe it or not, this is a radio teletype. This goes back to 1939. It's a Lorentz radio teletype transmitter receiver. We call them transceivers. Here you go.
Jeg Lima Alpha 6, November Charlie Alpha. I dag skal jeg vise en fjernskriver.
Look how clean that is. Now, I know he probably restores these things, but my gosh, this is beautiful. And the mechanicals of it, you just have to admire and say, gosh, that thing works. It's just absolutely incredible how this thing works.
Maskin fra Lorentz. Den laget I 1939. Og jeg har tatt den fram på labbenken for å prøve den for første gang. Jeg vil nå teste maskinen, tilkoblet radio for første gang. Jeg har designet en egen interface her.
Okay, this is really important, right? Because he's got to use it for modern purposes. Otherwise, it's not going to be really well received. He's going to use this to make a QSO. Take a look at this. This is kind of what he's put together to make the RTTY transceiver work with today's RTTY.
Med elektronikk og filter med DSP her.
at that beautiful radio. Gosh, it's gorgeous. That's the sound you'll hear of radio teletype going over the air, too. This is incredible watching this work. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the original, the old school military type radio teletype machines. Today's RTTY can be explained pretty simply. It's actually an easy mode to work if you're looking to do digital modes. If you're maybe thinking about putting your little toe in the water, the best way, I think, honestly, true, is radio teletype. Because with Morse code, right, you've got to be able to receive and send it. And like people as dumb as me can't do that. And then for like, FT8 and stuff, you might have a hard time hooking your radio up to your laptop or your computer to make it work. But because radio teletype decoders are on a lot of amateur radios already on board, man, doing it can be very, very easy. Take a look at this.
Hey, just playing around with my IC705. It just got in the mail this week from Ham Radio Outlet, and trying to figure out how to use a bunch of these features here. And scrolling through 20 meters. It's Saturday, the end of February, and I saw a bunch of RTTY stations. And so I know this 705 can decode RTTY, and you can set up transmit memories. So I thought maybe try to do that without the manual, without diving into the manual, see how easy it was. And turns out it was exceptionally easy. So I'm going to show you what I did. So first, go to RTTY, and to get start decode, just press the menu button. And if you're in RTTY mode, decode will be an option in the center. Press that, and now you'll see all the RTTY stations, which look like on the waterfall look like two lines. And then what you're going to do is you'll scroll over, you tune over to one of these stations, and once you get pretty much on top of them, you're going to look at this little waterfall here on these two lines. You're going to try to line their lines up, their peaks on their on the scope with these two lines right here. And if you do it right, it should start to decode, as you see. That was all I had to do, and it was already decoding. I was impressed with that, and I figured I'd try to work them, some of these stations. So what I did is I pressed transmit memories, and it already has 8 memories. Originally they all had just generic ICOM blah 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 whatever. So I go to edit, and if you hold down one of these memories, you can choose to edit it. You can type in what you want the memory to be. So for the North American QSO Party RTTY contest, you're going to send your call to the station calling CQ. Alright, so I typed that in twice. The next memory, the exchange, is to send your name and your state. So I typed that in twice on memory number 2, and that's it. Go back to this. And now let's watch for the next time he sends CQ. We're going to see if we can work it. We're only running 5 watts here. Let's see if we can do it though. Alright, there he is. He's sending CQ. Alright, see if he hears us. So it'll send that first memory. There we go. Steve in New York. And we're going to send Adam in Missouri. And he sends to you, thank you. And that's it. Just made a first contact in Verde with the 75.
Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. And you can take a look on your ham radio. Typically on radio teletype, if you'd like to work it, typically it's going to be right about 080 to 090 on the lower part of the bands. You can like just above Morse code and right after FT8. So just after digital FT8, and you can see FT8, right? Because it's a big solid line. Every 15 seconds it changes. Anyway, I'll show it to you real quick because I got the radio, I got the video card. The capture card is back. We got a brand new one. It works and everything. How about that nifty little feature? So FT8 is over here. There's FT8 puttering along here. And you can find radio teletype when it's going, usually between, like here on 20 meters, 14.080 megs. And you see those two lines come up and down? There you go, right about there. And so just find them. And a good way to learn, something I was taught from my original Elmer, because he says, look, if you want to try a digital mode that you're not familiar with, like RIDI, or which is radio teletype, or FT8 or something like that, go in a place where maybe they're doing a contest where you can learn how to do it. And the nice thing about a lot of these transceivers today is they're already set up with ways that you can communicate right away. So if you want to try it, basically you just set your radio up so it'll work on radio teletype. And then when you want to make a call on it, you can decode. And then there's also ways you can transmit memory functions. See where it says TX mem at the bottom, that line just below the clock, all the way at the bottom, TX mem. Press that. I've already put in my call sign. And so everything's already right there to use for radio teletype if I want to make a QSL. It's a really neat way to do it. But I think the least pressure way is just watch the bands. When you see that telltale signal, where you get the two carrier lines, they're very close together. And when you go to tune them in, most radios will have it set up where you have these two little spikes where you kind of fit it right in between and the decoder starts to work. It's really cool. Radio teletype, if it's something you may want to be interested in because you don't want to use a microphone, there's another thought for you for maybe something to do in amateur radio. Okay, I hope you like that. Rodney, welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks for coming after work. My gosh, you poor guy. Thanks for being here.
That's my boy!
Yeah, I know. You got a lot of boys here now. You do, Sam. I'm worried about you. And yeah, the IC705 is great because it gives you the extra power. You know, if you don't want to go just QRP, it'll go, well, no, it's 5 or 10. Oh, well, still a neat radio. And plus you get HF, VHF, UHF, which makes it kind of nice. Toscan, have a great day. We'll see you soon, and thanks for coming. And also want to welcome our dear friend Harold here. Harold, good to see you. Kilo Victor 5 Romeo. Welcome back, buddy. He says, many other keyboard modes decode better than RTTY in typical HF conditions. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to give you guys some ideas because I get emails sometimes from people who say, you know, I just don't want to use a microphone. I know you like it, and that's fine, but it's just not what I want to do. So I thought, well, what if I show a few other ways to do it? Because the one thing I can't show is Morse code, because Larry doesn't do that so well. I can do CQ. I can do that in my head, but I certainly can't send it. I want to show you something really neat that came in from Raleigh. He came in at the end of yesterday's program, and I want to show it for you because it's important to him. Raleigh sent me this link yesterday regarding a Go Get funding page. It's kind of like GoFundMe, but it's just a different platform, okay? And he's doing something to help with people that are in New Guinea to be able to make not only ham radio work there, but also an infrastructure for communications. I mean, Papua New Guinea is not a super developed area on planet Earth. So he's looking for donations anywhere in the world you'd like to do this. I'll have the link right at the top of the description of this video. This talks about what they need the money for. Okay, he's done the radio already. He's got an IC 7300. He's got a DX Commander Classic Vertical. And what he says, this is from Raleigh, ZL1BQD in New Zealand. Now I want to fundraise for a consistent power setup. Remember, this is Papua New Guinea. This is not a really developed country, using solar panels and a decent battery. Now, the good news, they've already got the panels, they've already got the battery, okay? What they want to do is distribute the power that they've currently got in the village and build a radio transmitter / repeater about 1 kilometer up a mountaintop. What Raleigh says, this will then give FM radio coverage to several nearby villages. They need to raise about $3,000 US to complete the project, and he's asking for donations. So if you'd like to help, take a look at the top of our description of this video, and I'll have the exact link for Raleigh. And I hope you'll be able to do that, because, you know, we who have much can certainly do what we can to give those who need much. I think it's a good way to do it. Raleigh, thanks for doing that, and we hope you feel better soon, buddy. Raleigh's going through some stuff right now, so keep in your thoughts and prayers, would you? Today's topic question: what's the shortest and farthest QSO you've ever made in amateur radio? Let us know in the comment section of today's program, and we will make it part of the show. I love what Andy said here. This is kind of funny. Andy says on that old radio teletype, says that radio reminds me of the RAF R1155 receiver I used to have years ago. It was from a Lancaster bomber. How about that memory? Love that. Love that. And Harold says, a Curious Mark restored a teletype used on the space shuttle. It was a unique unit designed for lightweight. That's pretty cool. That's a neat story. I love that. And Toscan in Portugal said, I remember somebody bringing a whole load of Creed RTT wide gear to our club sale. Unfortunately, it ended up in a landfill. That's most of the times hams will find a way, right? Just fine, we'll make it work. Andy New, today's topic question: shortwave listening to New Zealand from Great Britain. That's not bad. Shortest probably Wales or Scotland. Andy, thank you very much. Andy gets big applause all the time. Sam loves him because he's our trivia guru, you know. Yeah. Welcome, our dear friend Kevin, Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo, Iowa is here. Hello, Kev. Good to see you. We're going to feature a video from you tomorrow as we celebrate QRP on this program. Should be a lot of fun. We're just not Kevin, we're doing other people too. So I hope you guys come to the program tomorrow. We'll be talking about QRP tomorrow on the show. Gunter in Germany, I was happy to talk to my big radio friend from Alberta, Victor Echo 3, Charlie, Quebec, Rick the day before yesterday. Thank you, Gunter, today. Appreciate that. I feel like I'm in a little time machine there. Gunter also said, I'm thinking about to stay home tonight, getting up early morning to work the Sunrise Gray Line and Long Path DX tomorrow morning. Well done. Very good. Do you ever work the net at 7.163? They are, gosh, they're probably still doing it. I think it started 5 Eastern. Your time be 9. Are you +2? Because UTC, that would be 0900. But I know that they do beam towards the east. Maybe something we could work. They love doing DX. They really do. Bill, going back to Electro Boom here. Sam loved Electro Boom. He says, when he touched the leads to his tongue, my eyes crossed and my hair stood on end just watching the guy. Yes. And Harold, 5 milliamps is a good shock. 10 milliamps across the heart can kill. The voltage required to deliver that amperage depends on the skin's resistance. Just don't play around with electricity, guys. Please don't. And Toscan, on his wife's account, you should see Electro Boom on Cohers. Send it. Just send it to us, info@hamradiolive.org. It's still, a chance to get the funniest video of the year. If you want to send that, it'd be an awful lot of fun to be able to share it for sure. I think we've caught up with everybody here. Harold says, FT8 is actually a kid mashing down all the keys on a toy organ with both forearms. Ooh. The sound of it. Yeah, it is a very... Most digital modes have unique sounds, honestly. Radio teletype is that noise we've heard before. It's almost like you hear a tone, and it's like, and it rings a little bit. And, FT8 definitely has more of an everybody in the pool type tone. So, yeah, I get that. Definitely get that. Let's see, Rodney, I got you. You're here. And thank you for the link there for Raleigh on that. Rodney, thank you, because Raleigh needs that help. I knew something was going on because whenever Raleigh, he really gets behind a project, he really tries to make sure and see it through. Just a sec. I just couldn't make that to the Angry Hams moment, so thank you. I usually play the Angry Hams, grab a quick drink, and read you the trivia, but it's not going to make it that far. Harold says, I keep trying to make contacts with Scamp mode in FL Digi, but no replies. I even put Scamp on the waterfall. It's supposed to copy at very low signal-to-noise level. Sometimes digital modes can be difficult because you might be working PSK 31 or something like that, and people are just not there. So I get it. I wonder, in fact, I will ask coming up a topic question, how many digital modes is too many? Don't be mean, but just think about it, right? Because we have a lot of digital modes we've got for years now, and so many of them just no one uses. Just not very often, at least. Jeff in Canada, did anybody notice the Canadian time radio service on 3.33 was shut down forever just the other day? Yeah, we talked about that. We did a show on that. It was back in April, and we talked about CHU going dark, and that was a crying shame. Just a crying shame. Yeah. Rodney in Holland, he says, today's topic question, shortest, my neighbor, longest would be VK or Taiwan. Well done, right? Yes, good job. And speaking of Raleigh from New Zealand, there he is. Hi, Raleigh from his hospital bed all the way in New Zealand. Man, oh man.
Now, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person?
He's just sick. He's going to get better. Don't worry. We're good for that. We're all fine here. Nothing to worry about here on the show. Yes, Raleigh, you'll be hoping and praying for good stuff coming your way. Jeff in Canada should be able to say it. The Maple Leaf's right there, right? Shortest QSO was my neighbor, and farthest was using the SO50 satellite. How far was that? Do you know? That'd be interesting to know just how far that was. Neat stuff. Love that. So +2. Okay, so then you would be at 11. So listen on 11, 7.163. If you can hear them. I don't know that you'll hear them at that hour. I mean, in the winter, no. Even, because, even in the winter time, you go back an hour, right? But still, because there's so many time zones, it's probably not, there's 40 meters probably isn't working that well in Germany at that point. But I used to work that one. That was a great DXnet. I loved those guys. Good people. Truly are. Gunter likes how the tone of Olivia sounds. There's another digital mode right there, Olivia. I don't know if people listen so much on that. Nice words for Raleigh. A lot of people concerned. And Raleigh's because you mean something to an awful lot of people here in amateur radio. We're all hoping for good stuff for you and good health. Here's the Angry Hams guys on a Wednesday.
Another star in the tradition of the late, great Boris Klinger.
Boris Klinger? Why, you old fool. Boris Klinger was the worst music hall act to ever step onto the stage.
In your opinion, maybe, but more than 2,000 people attended its final performance.
Yes, yes. Half of them brought the tar and the rest brought the feathers.
Question 1 of 3 today. We're only going to do 3, guys, so we're already pushing an hour here. What government department oversees amateur licensing in Canada? Jeff, we're counting on you to get this right for us. A, the Federal Communication Control. B, the Department of Communication. C, Innovation, Science, and Economic Development Canada. Or D, Department of Radio Licensing. A, B, C, or D. Get it right. We'll give you some love. Good luck. Question 1 today. It's just funny. Some of the things they think about, it makes me wonder, like, okay, what are they going to do? I mean, that sounds silly. That can't be true. then it turns out, nope. That's because it's the right answer. First one today would be, I got to put Rodney's up first. This is great. Whatever the Canadians said, that's brilliant. And the first one today is Jeff from Canada. He has C, Innovation, Science, and Economic Development Canada. Believe it or not, he knows his stuff. Well done. I laughed on that because it's just funny to think that's real, but that's the one. Innovation, Science, and Economic Development Canada. That's the real deal. My gosh. Andy and Mike and Chris, Barry and Bill, C, yep, I'll go with Jeff. And Droner Wayne, welcome, first timer. I'm Larry Dio, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome to Ham Radio Live. It's an honor to have you here today. Thanks for coming. Hope you stay a bit. Second question, which circuit component is typically operated in its reverse breakdown region? Okay, would it be an A, ceramic capacitor? Would it be a ceramic capacitor? B, field effect transistor? C, electrolytic capacitor? Or D, the Zener diode? Which circuit component is typically operated in its reverse breakdown region? Which of the 4? Go get them, everybody. Good luck. We'll give you a big applause to get this one right. Yeah. And nobody's really answering here except for Andy. Bless Andy's heart. Now, Andy, of course, is our trivia guru. Yes. And everybody's flying in now. This is great. We must have some really big lag because now everybody's flying in with D. But the first one that came in was Andy New out of Bristol, our trivia guru. He's got D, the Zener diode. Yep, got it. Well done, Andy. And that's why Andy New is our trivia guru. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the Zener diode typically operates in its reverse breakdown. That's how it works. And look at this, Chris and Bill and Harold and Jeff and Terry, and the list just goes on and on. Well done. Very good, guys. Okay, last question today. What does GMT stand for? Oh, gosh, you guys got to get this one right. Does GMT stand for A, General Military Time? Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Come again.
B, Greenland Mean Time. C, Greenwich Mean Time. Or D, General Maritime Time. A, B, C, or D, GMT. Good luck to thee. Here you go. And Rodney, up there is lag. And he answered almost at the same time the question popped up. Amazing. Yeah, we need to get like him a certificate. Find a way, right? First one coming in, Andy New from Bristol. See, Sam, wait till he gets an answer at first. He has C, Greenwich Mean Time. Of course it is. Well done. No, Sam, cha-ching first. There you go. Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, Greenwich Mean Time. It's the way it is, yes. And everybody gets this one right. That's it, you know. And there's different words. Some people call it UTC, which is Universal Time Coordinate. Some people call it ITC. I mean, there's different things for it. And it really has to do with the time that's at Greenwich, the observatory that they have there, which goes back an awful long way too. Bill Myers in Wisconsin says, I've been to Greenwich when I was visiting London many years ago. Just outside of London, beautiful brick building. Gosh, it's a neat thing. You know, if you want to learn something, that's kind of fun. We showed a small video, just a snippet, right, of the observatory there. Go see a YouTube video of it. It's really fascinating. If you love history, like nerdy history like GMT, then find it. It's pretty cool stuff.
Pay attention when I'm talking to you, boy.
Sorry. It is neat, though. I like that. Today's topical question has to do with your shortest and farthest QSO you ever made. And I'll give you guys, go ahead. Like give if you haven't already answered, then please put it in and we'll get you in here for the last round. My shortest over the horizon radar, that noise is very loud. It's so annoying. Gosh, it's a loud sound. Awful. If you've ever heard over the horizon radio, over the horizon radar. Oh, it's awful. Yeah. Shortest here in the villages is like 2 miles, and longest would have been Oregon to Indonesia, and that was my farthest I made. I remember that. That was one of those yippee moments, because I was like, ooh. The first thing you do is you look at it and you go, okay, that's a nice QSO, and you're like, oh, wait, that was a great QSO, man. I love that. I was like pushing like 11,000 miles. I was like, oh my gosh, that's about halfway around the world. Man, isn't radio just the best thing ever? I love ham radio. It's just the best. Rodney, sad part is most of today's youth do not know UTC or GMT unless they are FPS gamers. Could be. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Zulu, too. Forgot about Zulu.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah. Zulu is another alternative. And for people that might be new to amateur radio, all these things are interchangeable. Like if you hear UTC, same thing. Means Greenwich Mean Time. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Zulu, Greenwich Mean Time. There's just different ways to say the same thing. So, yeah. That's it. Rodney, thank you. Says Hamrio Live's rarest QSO would be K7HN and Papa Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey. That's Rodney himself. Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that before you know it, man. You're not that far. You just gotta get your antenna up. If you get your antenna up, we'll get that call made. We will. It's just Europe now comes in later during the daytime. It used to come in like 10:30 in the morning, and it was like clockwork, man. Early March, like January. It was like 10:30 in the morning. There's Europe. And they were all over. I mean, UK, France, Germany, Slovenia, they were just flying in here. And as the summer starts to come, you start to get a little later and a little later. You'd think it'd be earlier, but it's later because I'm not working 40 meters. I'm working daytime bands. And then as the solar cycle, instead of coming up like this, right, and doing this little number for a little bit, it kind of went boom, straight down, and it's like bouncing back up just a little bit, but it has not been good to us on the way down, that is for sure. A big welcome to Robert Varner, Kilo Charlie 2 Tango Echo Limo in New Jersey. Thank you for coming. Harold says, longest was my very first contact as a general. Oh, Lolio City, Philippines. What a call. Wow. Is that from where you're at now? No kidding? Holy mackerel. That's a long call, man. That's coming from Texas That's got to be almost an antipode. That's a great call, Harold. Seriously. Seriously. Yeah. Let's see. Rodney says, no, Larry first would be getting the new coax. Probably so. Andy, if this heat continues, you might make Europe on VHF. LOL. Never know. Hoping it cools down for you guys in Europe. At least here, everything is pretty much made for the summers here. I got to tell you, I do give a lot of credit to the people who lived here, like in the pioneer days, like the people that chose to come down here to Florida. There's not even fans back then. I mean, the nearest fan was this one, and you do this with it. And it's like, oh gosh, how would you sleep? It's, the bugs, and there's no air conditioning. We are so doggone spoiled. We are super, super spoiled here in our lives today, considering how things have come so far. Wow. Guys, that's the show today. I do have some fun for you. I've got one commercial we've never shown. No, two. And a sign-off that we've only shown one time in 750 shows. Hope you like that. If you'd like to get your amateur radio license, we would love to help you do so. Contact the Radio Society of Great Britain at www.rsgb.org. Tell them you'd like to get your ham license and where you live in the world. They've got an online database. They will send a local to you ham radio club to your email. Then check your email, contact that club, and they'll help you get licensed lickety-split, which means fast here in American, because we've destroyed the English language here. www.rsgb.org. Rodney with probably the comment of the show at the very end.
That's my boy!
That's great. He says, truer statements have not been made. God bless the man who invented air conditioning.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Boy, are you right. Rodney, that's a good comment. It is, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch up tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very special show about QRP. It'll be fun. Hope you come by and visit for a while. Wherever you may be, my name's Larry Dio. My call sign in ham radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November, from hot Central Florida to a hot world. Goodbye, everybody. Wherever you may be, God bless you. Bye-bye.
K-Tel presents Fantastic, a great new album. 22 fantastic hits. Original stars, Don.
Tie a yellow ribbon around the old tree.
Elton John.
We're hopping, bobbing to the crocodile rock. Well,
Vicki Lawrence.
that's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
The Sweet.
Little Willie won't go.
Maureen McGovern.
There's got to be a morning after.
Stories.
Louie, 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 Louie,
Les Emerson, Jim Stafford, Lobo, Barry White, New York City, Charlie Daniels, Chester.
Make my life a little bit brighter.
Sam Peters. Get Fantastic, a great new album. 22 fantastic hits, only $4.99. 8-track or cassette, $5.99.
Just a second, guys. That's an amazing...
Magic in the music.
Wow.
K-Tel's Music Magic. All original hits, original stars. Player. Number 1 from Andy Gibb. Super Cool Steely Dan. Commodores. High Energy. Foreigner, Diana Ross, Bay City Rollers, Santa Esmeralda, Eric Comets, Donna Summer, and Samantha Say. Crystal Gale.
Don't it make my brown eyes
Chic. Music Magic, an unbelievable new album, all original stars, $5.99 from K-Tel, tape or cassette, $7.99.
Well, here we are at the end of another day's viewing on Channel 7 in Sydney, and we look forward to your company again tomorrow. We'll be here bright and early at 6 a.m. with another edition of Strange But True. And highlights of Monday's viewing on 7 include the best coverage of the America's Cup, live from 3. 7 national news at 6, then back to the big race through to the finish. A late pregnancy has a woman facing an agonizing decision when her country practice continues after the race. Edward Woodward stars as the equaliser at 8:30, Mike Hammer's back at 9:30, and a full report on the America's Cup follows at 10:30. And now from all of us here at 7, this is Chris Kearns wishing you good night.
That's all, folks.